Hello, my name is Mark Hinson, and a favorite poem of mine is titled The Head and the Heart by John Sachs. I really feel like this poem speaks to me because it highlights a conflict in decision-making processes. This is the conflict between the head and the heart and the different roles that each of them play in a person's thinking and ultimately their decision-making processes. I really feel like this speaks to the way I analyze situations a little too much, and my head can get in the way of my heart, but then also how my heart can get in the way of my head. And so hopefully in an example I can illustrate how that plays out and how the head and the heart, when working together, like the poem suggests, work best to complete the man. I feel like this poem speaks to the life situation of me deciding whether I wanted to work full-time and not go to school versus going to school and not working, and then the combination of the two. I really struggled with my heart wanting to just work and not have to go through the process of schooling for 4 years and the idea of really studying and taking exams and doing homework. And then my head really made me rethink the situation and come back to a better decision of the combination of work and school. There are a few literary elements that make this poem interesting to read and really help with the flow of the poem. I feel like the rhyme scheme really plays to the idea of the heart being a constant steady beat until it gets to the last stanza where the rhyme scheme is kind of mixed up, which really helps keep the reader attentive. The poem is comprised of 5 quatrains, and an interesting thing I noticed when reading the poem is that of the 20 lines, there's only 5 that start with a different letter or vowel. The remaining lines start with the letter T or the letter A. So I'm not sure really what the author was getting in that, but it's an interesting point. Throughout the poem, there are numerous alliterations in the first and second stanza, and then in the third stanza, there's an allusion to the Age of Reason and Age of Enlightenment, which was shortly before the time at which this poem was written. And here's the poem, The Head and the Heart by John Sachs. The head is stately, calm, and wise, and bears a princely part. And down below in secret lies the warm, impulsive heart. The lordly head that sits above, the heart that beats below, their several office plainly prove, their true relations show. The head, erect, serene, and cool, endowed with reason's art, was set aloft to guide and rule the throbbing, wayward heart. And from the head, as from the higher, comes every glorious thought, and in the heart's transforming fire all noble deeds are wrought. Yet each is best when both unite to make the man complete. What were the heat without the light without the heat?